guys, if you're new here, my name is Alex and this is my channel Life with Fibro. I have a chronic illness called fibromyalgia and this is my channel about my life with my chronic illness and trying to spread awareness to fibromyalgia because there's not much known regarding this illness and there's a lot of stigma on it. May is Fibromyalgia Awareness Month, so for the month of May I'll be uploading one video a day every day for the whole month. So 31 videos, 31 days. Today is day 5 of Fibromyalgia Awareness Month. So today's video is going to be how to get diagnosed with fibromyalgia. So it's going to be a video more for people who are showing symptoms of it but haven't been diagnosed yet. But if you have been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, make sure you continue watching this video and then comment below if there was any difference for your like any difference on how you got diagnosed or anything like that than what I see in here. So I am going to give you a heads up if I zone out today or seem to lose train of thought or anything for a second or repeat myself a little too much. It's because I'm having really bad fatigue today and really bad fiber fog, so my head is just all sorts of jumbled right now. So I'm going to try to keep this making as much sense as possible though. So to start getting diagnosed with fibromyalgia, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to see your PCP or your primary care physician. And so your primary doctor, what they'll mostly do is they will go over the symptoms with you. So like this would be whether you're having chronic pain, musculoskeletal pain, bone pain, burning sensation pain, severe fatigue, nausea, brain fog, etc. You'll see your PCP and they will, first what they're going to do is they're going to run a whole bunch of blood tests, a ton. I do want to say be patient with the process. Fibromyalgia is a cross everything off the checklist first before you get diagnosed kind of diagnosis, because, excuse me, there is no blood test or x-ray scan or anything like that that doctors can do and they'll be like, oh, yep, this person's fibromyalgia. So just be patient with the process. It does kind of take a while. I think I was lucky and had a really good PCP who actually told me about fibromyalgia when I went in with my symptoms. So my diagnosis took, I think, close to a year. It took about 7, 8, 9 months, I think is what it took for me. But I know some people take 5 to 10 years for a diagnosis. So just be patient with it and make sure to be your own advocate when it comes to doctors and don't let them tell you that it's in your head or it's just depression, etc. So you're going to see your PCP, they're going to do a ton of blood work, and what they're doing with that blood work is they're going to rule out anything else. They're going to rule out anemia, they're going to rule out a positive ANA, which would like indicate lupus or anything like that. They're going to test your sediment rate, that'll show like the inflammation in the body. They're going to test, a whole bunch of things to make sure there's nothing that shows up in your blood test that could be the cause of your issues. And then, I shouldn't say issues, the cause of your symptoms. And then after they do that, some physicians will have you do a sleep apnea test to rule out that also, because that can be a huge contribution to fatigue, and sometimes with high levels of fatigue from apnea, it can cause pain also. So some physicians will rule out sleep apnea also. Mine didn't. And then, so he's going to rule everything possibly that he can. Once your PCP rules out everything with your blood test or sleep apnea test also, and any other test that he decides he wants to do, or he or she wants to do, they will send you to a rheumatologist. So a rheumatologist will do a whole bunch of things in your initial appointment with a rheumatologist. I can go into more of a process over what happens, go like more in detail over what happens in your first rheumatologist initial appointment. If you would like, comment below and I can do a whole nother video on that because there's a ton that they do. I can kind of go into more depth. But your rheumatologist will narrow out rheumatoid arthritis, so like he'll feel all the joints in your hands and everything, make sure there's nothing going on with those to narrow out rheumatoid arthritis. They will do a tender point test on you to see, or a trigger point test, because there is 18 trigger points that help determine fibromyalgia in a patient. And what they'll do is, on those 18 points, he'll put like, they'll press down on their thumb, and if it causes you, it's on places that shouldn't cause you pain unless you have fibromyalgia. So if you have fibromyalgia, they will rule out like lupus and any autoimmune disorders that could be causing those symptoms. They will rule out, and at the end of that appointment, they rule out everything and it's nothing else, then they'll say you have fibromyalgia. Or sometimes they will route you to a neurologist also, to have a neurologist do scans to rule out multiple sclerosis, so MS. Sometimes they do send you to a neurologist, sometimes they don't. My rheumatologist didn't, and neither did my PCP. So yeah, your rheumatologist will narrow everything they possibly can, and then after going over all your symptoms with you and doing the trigger point test and narrowing out everything, if they believe that it's fibromyalgia that you have, they will tell you, and that is when you'll get your official diagnosis. If everything works out fine, unless you're like me, who my rheumatologist told me I had fibromyalgia after ruling out everything, but he didn't want to put it in my medical chart, and just told me to take 3,000 milligrams of Tylenol every day. So that is why I'm saying be your own advocate, because there is a lot of stigma with this illness, and there is a lot of doctors that don't necessarily still believe in it. So be your own advocate, and if they say something that doesn't seem right, or they're not advocating for you and realizing that something is really going on, advocate for yourself and be persistent and be insistent that something is going on, and they figure out what it is. So that's just kind of like a snippet of how you get diagnosed with fibromyalgia. If you have any more questions or would like me to go in more depth regarding over what all my PCP did, or what the all initial rheumatologist appointment will be, comment below and I can go into a lot more depth also on those. But I hope you have a great day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe this video so that you don't miss a single one of the 31. Bye!